BMW M4 versus Audi RS5, almost 1000 horsepower in this comparison review. You wanted to see more comparisons? Well, that's what you get. Let's go. Here, right or left, the BMW, yeah, clearly Thomas blue color for me. I'm also wearing the blue jacket, but it doesn't mean that I'm biased towards the BMW. Let's see how that one turns out. Double kidney, huge vertical and horizontal, really big dimension. But if you compare the Audi, I mean, this is also a big front grille. So yeah, meanwhile we know that this is a very large one. Headlamps start with LED with both vehicles. However, here optional the laser light at the BMW, but this is not the laser light. This is the base LED for the M4, and there you see the daytime running light is also not that accentuated. It would look, you know, a little bit more accentuated than with the optional lighting. 4.72 m or 186 inches in the length for the Audi RS5, whereas we go 8 centimeters or 3 inches longer with the BMW M4, but definitely both in the very same segment, so approximately the same. Also pricing wise, approximately the same. You start less than 100,000 euros for both vehicles, and with more extra equipment, both over 100,000 euros or dollars, whereas the M4 is a couple of thousand euros less expensive actually. Interesting. You can get a carbon fiber roof for both vehicles or a panoramic roof. Here in this case today we have a carbon fiber roof for the M4, whereas we have a just closed roof for the RS5. Let's get towards the rear. This is really interesting. Both have a carbon fiber lip then here in this carbon package, and a nice LED signature for both vehicles. Audi once again more rectangular design, whereas the BMW a little bit more sensual swinging lines here in the lower part, both with a huge diffuser. And with the BMW M4 we have 4 pipes here, very visible. And with the Audi, this is the optional sports exhaust. Here you can see with the black pipe, 2 big pipes, but on the inside they're also split, and you can clearly see the exhaust valve. V6 versus inline 6, this is the question for the day. So 3-liter inline 6-cylinder with the BMW M4, 480 horsepower, usually 510 horsepower today with the competition package, and rear-wheel drive only for this model. But however, you can also get an all-wheel drive model if you want at a later stage. Whereas the Audi RS5 is always all-wheel drive, quattro, 40% front, 6% in the rear is the standard distribution. Here we have 450 horsepower, so a little bit less horsepower. However, the acceleration figures both 3.9 seconds. In this case here, again, the all-wheel drive model of the M4 will be the fastest then. Let's start the interior with the BMW M4. You can see here the M steering wheel with the contrast stitches on the inside, carbon fiber use, shifting pedals here also with the carbon fiber cover, 12.3-inch digital instruments as standard, and you cannot configure that much on them. And the seat either comes with a normal sport seat or this one here in a special performance package with the bucket seat. Some Alcantara use, but still a lot of animal skin use. But it looks really, really fancy. But will it offer some comfort? We will soon check that one out. Let's take a look at the RS5 in comparison. So this sport seat here is standard, so there's no option. But usually it would come with Alcantara on the inside, so a wider Alcantara surface for the Audi. That's definitely better than in the M4. And we also have this lovely Alcantara steering wheel here. That's really my favorite RS badge and just offers the best grip, and I would always go for this one. Also 12.3-inch digital instruments, and here with Audi you can adjust them a little bit more. Let's get inside the BMW M4. Of course a shoe tab here, famous. And well, headroom wise no problem with 1.86 m or 6.1 m. And well, this seat here is really, really stiff everywhere. It's really suitable for the racetrack, and the moment you sit here it's like, oh, I can't drive for a longer time in this one. But the funny thing is that on long term, it's of course not the most comfortable vehicle overall. But these optional sport seats are more comfortable than the base sport seats, for whatever reason. The only thing is here, this stiff carbon fiber part here in the middle, right here. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I don't need a carbon fiber between my legs to have something stiff between my legs. Oh. So, and then steering wheel up and down, in and out, smooth process. However, the form is to me not that pleasing than with the Audi RS5. This M steering wheel form is a little bit thicker in the upper areas. Interesting that we have these configurable M buttons here, left and right side, so you can adjust them M1 or M2 and have really sporty settings on them then. And digital instruments, once again, they're actually quite good to read. You have also an optional head-up display. Middle part here, 10-inch central screen. Latest voice input, that's better with the BMW. The map is really responsive, I like that. And Apple CarPlay and Auto is wireless only. And you can also have the M menu here with all the settings. Configure your M1 and M2 settings and engine, transmission, chassis, steering, brake, DSC. Really individualizable, this vehicle. Climate unit, gladly still with a manual control right here. I like that. Carbon fiber used for the middle area here, middle console, and then it's an inductive charging pad. The Apple CarPlay or Android Auto is only wirelessly, and sometimes that's a little bit annoying because the connection, sometimes just for a brief of a second, is getting lost when hearing music, and to me that's really annoying. I prefer that when you still have the cable option. Interesting also, this area, you can not only use the touchscreen but also have it here while driving, for example, this turning and pressing knob with some hotkeys. Here you can adjust the shifting characteristics and also go to the M mode and the setup. So this car can be individualized for the racetrack. That's the special thing. A little bit more complicated in the user interface than the Audi. And some more space underneath with a USB-C charger. And one detail saying I'm the racier car of both. Here, this top part here of the head restraint, you can remove that with, pulling some screws. And then you can have your helmet inside the vehicle without, hitting this here. So to make it even slimmer. Again, one detail that says the M4 is the more racy car in comparison. And sitting in the rear here, the BMW M4 works headroom-wise when I'm a little bit cramped, but legroom-wise is important. It works with 4 tall adults overall in the vehicle. These bucket seats are very slim. That's why, that could be something you can argument, when you talk to your partner, like, yeah, I need to get the sporty bucket seats because more space in the rear, Now getting inside the Audi RS5, and there is a feature here which also shows that this car is more leaning towards a little bit more comfort. Well, you remember with the M4, we could, put out a part in the head restraint to make it racier for wearing a helmet on the racetrack. That's not possible here, but what's possible then here is, close the door, and then here there's this seatbelt reacher, so you can easily get the seatbelt. That does not exist for the M4, and that again shows, these small little nuances make the difference, where the RS5 goes a little bit more in the comfort direction and the M4 a little bit more goes in the racy direction. Sitting here in the RS5 is also a big difference. You sit higher, of course, especially if you have the bucket seats with the M4. In these standard performance seats with the RS5, you feel you're just higher, not that low on the road, and that again speaks for this, small difference. Steering wheel, I love the Alcantara steering wheel, up and down, in and out, and to me it has the better size. It's smaller, it's slimmer. The steering wheel is racier. The Audi Virtual Cockpit 12.3 inch is fancier. You can still get analog gauges here as standard, but you should go for these ones because then you can have the map all over the place, or just in this view, crystal clear view. And also a head-up display is available. Then in the middle part, a new 10-inch screen since the facelift of the RS5 Coupé both, and also for the Sportback. Easy to control, touch only, but the user interface is really straightforward. And you can also individualize your RS buttons, for example, because in the RS mode, which you can set on the steering wheel, you can go to the Audi Drive Select, and then here RS1 and RS2, and there can also change the different settings. So, like a similar system than BMW is using, just that you have one RS button for that on the steering wheel. GPS is also really responsive and a clear display, and Apple CarPlay and Auto is here available both wirelessly and with a cable. And well, sorry BMW, but this is the reason why the Audi wins for me in the interior. Yeah, I just love this AC unit. What a nice sound when turning it, and it's just so easy and straightforward to use. Yeah, and this is also quite fancy with the hovering functions right there. So to me, the Audi overall a more straightforward user interface. Lower part than USB-A device, adaptive cup holders, and then nice Alcantara covering also here for the automatic shifting lever. Yeah, however, the BMW would also be available as a manual. That is not possible here. And one of the unknown awesome details in the Audi is here, the cup holders are designed in a way, together with the key, that the key directly fits in here and is really fixed and well stored. Well, and rear seating in the RS5 Coupé, both headroom-wise and legroom-wise, not that good as in the BMW M4 Coupé. And the reason is here, the thick seats, especially in comparison to the bucket seats. So if you would have the M4 with the normal sport seats, the difference wouldn't be that large. But then the difference here to the M4 with bucket seats to here, clearly I cannot sit well here, and also headroom-wise it gets close, yeah. So not really 4-tall adult proof here in the RS5 Coupé. That's the reason why Audi is offering the RS5 Sportback then. So what can you load in these performance mid-size coupés? Let's compare the trunks or the boots. Here the width is a little bit less than a meter or less than 40 inches. The length here in the M4 is 36 inches or around 90 centimeters. So that's shorter than in the RS5. However, the height here is quite good. This is 20 inches or around 50 centimeters. Whereas now in the RS5, and you see we folded also the seats with both vehicles, that's possible. Here, the RS5 is longer here, the normal trunk length, so almost a meter or almost 40 inches. The width is also a little bit more. However, it's a little bit less deep. So here 19 inches or a little bit less than 50 centimeters. So that's the difference. Overall, I have to say then the RS5 a little bit better usable in the trunk. Welcome to Thomas's Active Comparison Driving Lounge. We're starting with the newer vehicle, the BMW M4. We go here to the M mode button that we have the speed in the middle part, and also assistance systems are drawn back. And we also go to the M1 mode. That's totally fine for public roads right here. And of course it's dry today, so that's fine. And we start about 50 kilometers an hour, and let's see. That's 180 kilometers an hour. Whoa, 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 whoa. Impressive. So, of course, we do have the rear-wheel drive version here. As I said today, that does feel different than the all-wheel drive acceleration. If we at some point have the all-wheel drive model of the M4, then it's even a little bit faster and will be the fastest overall then. But of course, I mean, it just feels more extreme than the RS5 does. And even if we are at speed here, like 140 kilometers an hour, and I floor it down, that's 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour, and there's still always something coming. A little bit more nervous on the road than the RS5 is, so more engaging, definitely sportier, but also I would say a little bit less balanced in a way. So I mean, in every kind of way. And another example is also really very good braking performance. Oh, hello M4 competition. Somehow I triggered the voice control here. So another example is here, when I go to the M2 mode, for example, the car automatically switches in the manual shifting mode, and it stays that way. And only if I deactivate it here, then it goes to the automatic shifting mode. And that also, again, tells you something about the philosophy of this vehicle. The whole philosophy of this vehicle is really race first. Whereas the RS5 is, yeah, I'm racy, but still somewhat the compromise comfort and raciness first, Being here in the tunnel, of course, we can shift down ourselves here with the pedals. That's here. Whoa. Yeah, definitely. Sound-wise, engine responsiveness-wise, I mean, we have a little bit more in the Newton meters here as well with the M4 in comparison to the RS5. How the setup is being done, so the things you can change around and what's the basic setup for this vehicle. Also suspension wise, this is definitely stiffer than the RS5 is. Oh, and this is here my Nürburgring Nordschleife corner where I can drive higher motorway speed. Whoa, and this car feels so aggressive. Still hooks up to the road quite well, and you hear the wind noises. So it is definitely louder than in a normal 4 Series or 3 Series. So you always feel that with the M models. And now we're going up Autogefuehl's peak. See about the driving agility of this thing. See here, steering wheel, have to turn it quite a lot, but whoa. I can't believe how responsive this inline 6-cylinder is. It's just amazing. No turbo lag at all. This is, whoa. It's really so, I mean, it's smooth, but so responsive at the same time. Now the rear-wheel drive only helps me spinning the car a little bit around, getting just a little bit loose at the rear end without losing control. Once again, the steering is too loose, however. In the low degree areas here, yeah, that could have been definitely made better. But wow, what a fun machine. This is pure awesomeness going up the hill here. Yeah, the road is a little bit wet. That again increases the slippery actions. Shifting back ourselves. What a joy. And of course a big test here, and there the rear-wheel drive of the M4 will have an advantage when we go here into this hairpin corner. Just keep it in second gear. Yeah, definitely. This is of course really cool, getting out of the corner very well. And this is of course always where the rear-wheel drive has an advantage. So that's definitely better as for this respect. And now welcome to the Audi RS5 Coupé. We put it here in the RS2 mode, the sportiest mode that is available. Set all on the performance. We know the acceleration figure is the same, but here then with the all-wheel drive. And what about the sound? How will this one here perform and feel? Will it be different? Let's see. We'll start here about 30 kilometers an hour and accelerate it out. Let's go. And that's 200. Whoa. 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. And once again, great acceleration. One more acceleration. Let's use the shifting pedals. Go down and then in the rev limiter. And this long turn here, my Nürburgring Nordschleife corner, 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles per hour. And here again, the car just feels more balanced than the M4. Yay! And our agile driving up the hill here with the RS5. And whoa, awesome. I mean, the performance is definitely there. Yes, the M4 does have a more loose rear axle in that rear-wheel drive version. And if you put the M2 mode there, you can get really loose with the rear axle. Not unlike here where we have the all-wheel drive. Yes, we have rear-wheel bias, but still there's always power on the front wheels. So this is then the main difference. However, I really think that the interface here between human steering wheel, so human car and the road, is better here with the RS5, because the steering wheel is smaller, somehow cooler, Alcantara surface all the way around, and I mean it has the right size and also the better steering ratio. I think it just feels more precise and gives me a better balanced handling feeling for this vehicle here. Oh, let's catch up to this Jaguar F-Type right there. Wow. I mean, awesome performance from the engine. Oh, now silent and slow for that doggy. Always respect, of course. So then we can go again. I mean, yeah, it's such a well-balanced feeling here with that vehicle. That is really awesome. That's what I love about the RS5. Once again, if you like it more extreme, if you like it more loose, then you will be happier with the M4. But if you like it very well balanced and at the same time super sporty, then the RS5 is for you.